Peace and love, everybody out there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Let's give a huge shout out and show support to Qatar, which is hosting the FIFA World Cup. The World Cup is the largest and most popular sporting event in the world. It's bigger than the Olympics and the Super Bowl. It is held every 4 years and attracts millions of fans around the world traveling to attend the games. And this year, Qatar has been awarded a right to host it. It began November 20th and it ends December 18th. The FIFA World Cup is all about football. People go there and have a good time, enjoy the sport, and cheer for their country. But this year, the focus is not on the sport. The focus is on the Europeans' sick, twisted desire to push sodomy into Qatar. Qatar is a Muslim country, and being a sodomite is illegal in Qatar. It's haram. It's forbidden. It's a sin. It's a crime punishable by jail time or execution, which is a righteous judgment according to the Almighty Creator. The Bible and Quran talks over and over about how much the Almighty Creator hates same-sex relations and how he commands death for them and how he will throw them into the lake of fire, the hellfire. This is what Qatar believes in. They believe in the Almighty Creator, the righteous Lord in the heavens, and the Almighty Creator has strictly forbidden sodomy. And who is spearheading this push for sodomy into Qatar? If you've been watching my past few videos, then you already know who the usual suspects are: America and UK, the two most evil satanic nations on earth, as well as other Western European nations such as Germany and France. Ever since the World Cup began, American and English reporters and other Western journalists have been ridiculing and making a mockery of Qatar's righteous, noble stance to forbid LG pride and to ban the rainbow from being inside their country. You see, the Western European nations are the Celtic nations who were once ruled by priests of Satan called the Druids. We covered that in my past videos and several videos. America and the Western European nations will not cease until the whole entire world becomes Satan worshippers and sodomites who want to spread their perversion and mental illness all over the globe. America wants everybody to drink out of the cup of fornication and filth, and the West have a sick, twisted fantasy of turning Muslim countries into sodomite nations. The West have a sick, twisted fantasy of turning Muslim women into half-naked whores of Babylon. The West have a sick, twisted fantasy of feeding pork and alcohol to every Muslim on earth. That was another topic that the West was angry about. Qatar banned the sale of alcohol during the games. The Western nations thought that they was going to walk into Qatar and bring homosexuality, pride, alcohol, and have a perverted Roman Greek style orgy during the entire tournament and turn out a Muslim country. But the Qatar chose God first against the ungodless nations, the nations that's directly against the Creator of the heavens and the earth, the nations who stand bold and full of pride and total defiance against what the Creator has told us not to do and not to partake in. Qatar showed the world that Islam, the peaceful surrender to the will of Allah, still reigns supreme forever and ever. Let's all learn from their example. So when Shaitan sent his puppets into your home to plant seeds of evil and seeds of sin to get you to turn your back on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can withstand against his evil temptations. You see, the Western nations have openly proclaimed to serve and worship Shaitan, and their only mission is to be missionaries for Shaitan by spreading his dawah. These Western nations are spreading the gospel of Shaitan all over the world, and Muslims have continued to stand against Shaitan in all his different attacks. And when Shaitan ridicules you and makes you look like the bad guy on media because you pledge allegiance and loyalty to Allah, then Allah blesses you and rewards you, and he keeps your nation, your country, from being infected by the Western satanic agenda to lead your children and your women sent into the hellfire on the day of judgment. That is the ultimate goal for these sodomites. They want to see you join the hellfire with them. They know they going there, so they want to bring you and your children there with them. That is the ultimate goal for these sodomites. They desire to see you enter the hellfire with them. As Muslims, we have to be examples, and we have to show the world that our faith is stronger, our discipline is stronger. Our love for the pleasure of Allah outweighs any temporary worldly pleasure, such as hosting the World Cup and pleasing the sinners and disbelievers and atheists for 4 weeks. Turning your back on your God and his rules and regulations for 4 weeks is not acceptable under any circumstances. Islam is the last stance against sodomy. The Western elites have conquered the entire planet, spreading their sodomy agenda to rebuild the city of Sodom on a global stage, and Islam is the final warrior left, standing strong against this perversion. And it makes the Western nations upset, and it drives them crazy that they cannot get Islam to fold and break to their persistent globalization of homosexuality. All over the Western media, which is owned by latter-day elites, they find every attempt to paint Qatar as a bad nation. Instead of focusing on the football games, instead of showing how beautiful and rich Qatar is, instead of showing what a true righteous society looks like, a society with no sin, few crime, the Western media ignores all of that and only complains about not having a chance to bring pride, rainbows, and alcohol into the nation. The Western media, they didn't even cover the opening ceremony of the World Cup games in Qatar because they was reciting the Quran. The Western media doesn't want the world to see what a true Islamic nation looks like. It doesn't want people's minds to be righteous and pure and chaste. It doesn't want the world to see women dressing modest and men dressing modest and wearing beards like men, and everybody is happy and praying and the streets are clean and beautiful and not run down. The Western world doesn't want you to see how friendly, innocent, and kind the Muslim people are with their great hospitality and their great treatment of tourists and guests. They don't want you to see what a near perfect society looks like when it adopts Islam. The Western world doesn't want this. They want immorality and violence and drugs and homosexuality and alcohol and degeneracy at all times. The Western nations wants a society full of sodomites, gender role reversal, transformers, Satan worshippers, and atheists. The Western media, they won't show you that thousands of fans who travel to Qatar converted to Islam after seeing what a true Islamic society looks like. And the Western media doesn't want this info to spread to the world. They want the world to look at Muslims, especially the Arabs, as the evil boogeyman, when in reality, the true boogeyman of the earth is the American and British elites.
You guys Americans? Are you guys here to spread sodomy or what? Isn't that what America's #1 export is? What is it? Is it George Floyd culture or is it sodomy? What do you guys think about your health secretary being a Hey guys. What do you guys think about your health secretary being What do you guys think about defending a country that has Are you guys here to spread anal sex to Poland? What? Isn't that what you guys learn in your training? You guys literally have a fucking transsexuals that wear dresses that are your fucking superiors. Have you guys heard of Kay Griggs? She did an interview exposing the higher up levels of the military are all sodomites. You guys here to spread some fucking worship, and you get called out on it.
In just under 2 weeks, as the 2022 FIFA World Cup kicks off, Qatar will welcome the world. Not everyone, however, feels equally welcome in a country where homosexuality is illegal. And today, World Cup ambassador and former Qatari footballer Khalid Salman did little to set minds at ease when he gave this interview to German television.
This haram.
Weißt du, was Haram ist?
Yes, haram.
Ja,
Haram, eine
So
Sünde.
he would say for me, why you drink it?
But do you think gay is... Sie finden Schwulsein ist haram?
Ja, es
Because
ist
why
Haram.
is haram?
Ich bin kein strenger Muslim.
I am not
Aber
big
warum
one
ist
big
es Haram? Es ist ein geistiger Schaden.
Because the damage in the mind.
Der Schaden.
Because the damage in the mind.
The comments provoked fury across the world. At the weekend, Sky News heard directly from Qatar's foreign minister.
We have our cultural norms. We have our society and what they like and what they don't like. We are not going to change the society for 4 weeks event. Yet we are respecting everyone and expecting from everyone to respect our laws. Respect our laws.
That's in the Quran, Surah 7 al-Araf. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. And remember when Lot scolded the men of his people, saying, "Do you commit a shameful deed that no man has ever done before? You lust after men instead of women. You are certainly transgressors." But the answer of his people was only that they said, "Evict them from your city. Indeed, they are men who keep themselves pure." So we saved him and his family except for his wife. She was one of those who remained with the evildoers, and we rained upon them a rain of brimstones. Then see how was the end of the criminals. Men lusting after men is a criminal act in Allah's eyes. He destroyed the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah for that reason. It is an extremely barbaric and uncivilized practice that spreads HIV, monkeypox, and other diseases. We are living amongst a generation that has a disdain for the will and laws of the Almighty Creator. Simply put, we are living in the end days. So let's not get too caught up in this perverted evil agenda of the Western backwards Americanized mentality that calls evil good and good evil. They want you to display the rainbow so it can sprout in the youth's mind and give them the idea to say, hey, maybe I want to try out sleeping with the same sex. Once you accept one sin, you slowly begin to accept them all. Ya Allah, protect us all from the evil wicked doors. Astaghfirullah, Ameen. I want y'all to go ahead and press like and subscribe. I'm out. Congratulations, Qatar, for holding an excellent World Cup, regardless of the hate from Western satanic cultures. Shukran for listening.
So what were you covering? Give me your overview of what you said about what's going on.
My overview was very simple. My overview was, if rainbow flags were the fashion of English people and we wore them all the time, I'm sure Qatar would let us in with the t-shirts. If nobody ever wears them in history and you show up at the arena with one, you are intentionally trying to provoke a culture into telling you to go home and change your t-shirts. You can paint them as the bad guy. And I believe that they should crack some skulls. That was the gist of what I said.
Imagine being a generic football fan, just a guy who likes football. Yeah, just bring it in.
Come in.
Imagine being a generic football fan, just a guy who likes football. You don't give a shit about any of these political statements, any of this garbage. And now all of a sudden you're, by just watching the football games and supporting football, you're on the side of mass, I don't even know what you are. What are they doing? Mass degeneracy? Like, it's insanity. Can't you just like football now?
Or can't you just, have sex with who you want in your house without having to show everyone in the World Cup?
Bro, you're lucky I'm not Mr. Producer, because I saw some English TV show. There was an English TV show. Thanks. There's an English TV show. Just leave it, bro. Thanks. There was an English TV show, and it's one of these guys. He's one of them football pundits. I don't know. And it was BBC Two or something. And there's a full 3-minute singing and dancing, just saying how important it is to have rainbow armbands. Why? I don't get it. Why can't people just play football? Why do they have to mix in this agenda with everything?
Yeah, I don't
It's like
understand.
the West has no culture besides that. It's the last piece of culture, the pride flag. And I don't give a shit if people are gay. I don't care. You can be as gay as you want. But why do you have to not? Why do you have to go to another country and make sure that they understand how important it is that you believe that that's an important thing? Like,
Well, interestingly enough, Andrew, in the argument of love is love and we should celebrate and make legal all types of love, if you are from Qatar and you are a Muslim and you live in England, you cannot legally marry 3 or 4 women. Polygamy is against the law in England. So if we were to hold the World Cup in England, could the Qatari players have their pro-polygamy, pro-multi-wife armbands on? But I don't think they would.
I don't think they would.
No, because they don't want to push their culture on other people. They're just happy being who they are. And I think that that's what every culture should do.
yeah, because it's absolutely not arrogant to believe that your worldviews are somehow shared by every other nation on earth. It's actually amazing that the West pretends to be moral and has any kind of moral high ground. If you look at the track records of the West, whether it's starting wars or look at some of the ideas the Matrix is purporting now.
I did say this yesterday.
Yeah, there's Matrix. The ideas that the Matrix is purporting now amongst the populations of the West are absolutely and utterly degenerate. They're not moral. You're going to sit there and say that, it's okay to chop people's dicks off at the age of 8 and 9, and that's somehow good. And then you want to talk to others about morality. There's absolutely nothing moral about the West. The West is disgusting in many various forms, and for them to sit there and pretend that they know so much more than other countries is absolutely and utterly disrespectful. By most metrics, Qatar as a country outperforms nearly every Western country.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's safer. They have families, lower divorce rate. They're doing something right. So for us to come along and say, no, they're doing everything wrong, they have to believe the way we think, is absolutely not arrogant.
You guys Americans? Are you guys here to spread sodomy or what?
you.